Good morning, everyone, and you are very much welcome to Carnival Radio Breakfast Show. This beautiful morning. This is a newspaper review. I am Ibrahim Adebayo. We begin the newspaper review with the headlines in the newspaper. Federal government zero import duty policy faces fresh hurdles amidst inflation crisis. Continuous price increase of cooking gas affecting our purchasing power, says Nigerians. National Assembly moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecom betting services. Army debunks COAS debt. Rumors retires 15 generals. Nigerian supplies Togo, Benin Republic, 24 hours power. Federal government zero import duty policies faces fresh hurdles amidst inflation crisis. Hope of many low-income Nigerians for low food prices may be dashed as the zero import duty policy on essential food staple appears to have hit fresh itches. Stakeholders citing lack of coordination, unclear directive, and underlining agronomic and infrastructural challenges as major obstacles. These come against the backdrop of renewed inflationary pressure on the price of power of vulnerable citizens. The main reason for the measure was the objective of moderating the prices of essential food items. Nigerian inflation has consistently maintained an upswing since the assumption of the office by President Bola Tinubu in May 2023, with a May 2024 figure at 33.95%, up massively from the 22.4% he inherited in May 2023. Amidst the inflationary pressures, President Tinubu, marking his one year in office, announced a 150-day duty-free import window for food commodities to ensure a reduction in food inflation in Nigeria. However, Nigerian inflation rate, which peaked at 34.19% in June 2024 before declining for two consecutive months of July at 33.4% and 32.15% in August, reversed the progress in September, rising to 32.7% according to the data released last week by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. This indicates that hardship is far from moderate. Amidst this development, newsmen findings shown that the softening measures through the zero duty food imports are not going to happen anytime soon, as the government agencies involved have been tied down by rogue conflicts in the process of implementation. The initial setback was the need for the Ministry of Finance to issue relevant directive for commencement, a situation which led to an initial 2-month delay. Also, the Nigerian Customs Service said that the federal government will forego 188 billion in revenue over 5 month window for the import waiver, and this may have unsettled both the Finance Ministry and the Federal Inland Revenue. On August 15, 2024, Custom announced that the program was ready to commence following a letter of implementation from the Finance Ministry to this effect dated August 8, 2024. But 2.5 months after the letter, newsmen learned that the program had been further bogged down by bureaucracy and major disagreements amongst the implementing agency. For more details on the news, you can visit the Vanguard newspaper. Federal government zero import duty policy faces fresh orders amidst inflation crisis. Continuous price increase of cooking gas affecting our purchasing power, says Nigerian. Nigerians have decried continuous increase in the price of liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, popularly called cooking gas. They said the situation has negatively impacted their purchasing power. Many residents of the Federal Capital Territory who spoke with newsmen in Abuja yesterday said the situation was beating hard on them. Newsmen reported that 1 kilogram of cooking gas is sold between 1,260 and 1,005 depending on the location, and refilling a 12.5 kg cylinder cost between 15,750 naira and 18,750 naira as against 12,500 and 13,000 in June and July respectively. The latest cooking gas report for September by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics showed that the average retail price for refilling a 5 kg cooking gas increased by 4.19% on a month-on-month basis from 6,430 in August to 6,699 in September. Also, the average retail price for refilling a 12.5 kg cylinder increased by 4.89% on a month-on-month basis from 15,552 naira in August to 16,313 naira in September. A businessman and a father of two, Mr. Inamde Okpara, said he had to adjust his spending to accommodate the increase in cooking gas. A civil servant, Mrs. Maimuna Ogunyemi, said the increase in cooking gas had made some people return to traditional cooking options. Ogunyemi added that the prices of accessories like cylinders, hose, regulator, among others, had also increased. A nurse and a mother of three, Mrs. Ella Joshua, said she could no longer afford to fill her 12.5 kg cooking gas because of the continuous price increase. For more details on the news, you can visit The Nation newspaper. Continuous price increase of cooking gas affecting our purchasing power, says Nigerians. National Assembly moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecom betting services, despite a previous exemption of the telecom sector from the 5% excise duty approved by former President Muhammadu Buhari. The National Assembly has revived the push for its implementation. The National Assembly has proposed a 5% SI duty on telecommunication services, game, betting, and lottery activities in the country. On July 6, 2023, President Bola Tinubu signed 4 executive orders, one of which suspended the 5% SI tax on telecommunication services to mitigate the adverse effects of tax increases on businesses and households. However, an executive bill titled Nigerian Tax Bill 2024 seeks to reintroduce the excise duty. According to the bill, the able transaction amount will be based on the services providers charge, whether in monetary terms or equivalent value. The bill states services including telecommunication, game, gambling, betting, and lottery, however described, provided in Nigeria, shall be subject to excise duty at the rate specified under the 10th schedule of these acts in the manner prescribed by the service. Additionally, the bill includes provision related to currency exchange transaction involving the naira. It mandates that such transaction must not exceed the prevailing exchange rate at the official market as authorized by the Central Bank of Nigeria. In case where the exchange rate of transaction exceed the official market rate, the excess amount will be payable as excise duty by the seller assessed on a self-assessment basis under the Nigerian Tax Administration Act. For more details on the news, you can visit the Vanguard newspaper. National Assembly moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecom betting services. Army debunks Chief of Army Staff death rumor, retired 15 generals. The Nigerian Army yesterday debunked reports circulating in the media that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tawhid Lagbaja, has died. Several reports originating from a social media post by the Nigerian journalist announcing the death of Army Chief went viral yesterday. The journalist claimed that Lagbaja had died of cancer 48 hours ago. Reacting to the post on X, the Nigerian Army marked it a fake news. However, sources at the Army headquarters confirmed to newsmen that the Army chief was critically ill. One of the sources said, Chief of Army Staff is not dead, he is only critically ill at the moment. We should be praying for him at this critical time and not spreading rumor that he died. Another source said he was out of the country to treat himself. The phone numbers of the Director of Army Public Relations Officer, Major General Onyema Nwachuku, indicated it was switched off. He was yet to respond to a message sent to him on the matter. The development came as no fewer than 15 generals of the Nigerian Army bowed out of the service. The retired generals are from the artillery corps of the service. Newsmen report that the artillery corps delivers heavy firepower support to allied forces positioned at the front line of the battlefield. In a post on X, the Nigerian Army said the retired officers consist of 11 Major General and 4 Brigadier. For more details on the news, you can visit the Punch newspaper. Army debunks Chief of Army Staff death rumor, retire 15 generals. Nigerian supplies Togo, Benin Republic 24 hours supply. The managing director and the CEO of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, Sule Abdulaziz, has disclosed that Nigerian supply 24 hours electricity to neighboring countries, Togo and Benin, amidst ongoing discussions in the country following a recent power grid collapse. Newsman reports that Band A customer are prioritized for 20 to 24 hours of electricity. Band B customer gets 16 to 20 hours. Band C customer receive 12 to 16 hours each day. Abdelaziz expressed optimism about achieving a consistent electricity supply across Nigeria within 5 years. Abdulaziz also clarified distinction between the TCN and the now defunct National Electric Power Authority. But now we are only doing one leg, which is transmission. But there could be issue in other sector, which are the generation and distribution, but people only know NEPA and they think TCN is NEPA and they put the blame on TCN. He stated the TCN boss highlighted infrastructure challenges, noting that much of the equipment is outdated. On electricity cost, Abdulaziz argued that electricity in Nigeria is relatively affordable. For more details on the news, you can visit the Punch newspaper. Nigerian supplies Togo beneath 24 hours power supply, says TCN. Before we bring the newspaper review to a close, these are the headlines again. Federal government zero import duty policy faces fresh hurdles amid inflation crisis. Continuous price increase of cooking gas affecting our purchasing power, says Nigerians. National Assembly moves to reintroduce 5% excise duty on telecom and betting services. Army debunk Chief of Army Staff death rumor, retire 15 generals. Nigerian supplies Togo beneath 24 hours power supply, says TCN. And with that, we've come to the end of Newspaper Review on Carnival Radio. Thank you so much for listening. I am Ibrahim Adebayo. You can download the Carnival Media app from the Google Play Store and iOS App Store. Do enjoy the rest of your Monday.